Welcome everybody to the Masters Clash 2022. So we are in the first qualifier for the Masters Clash in total for the offline event that's going to take place in Paris. There's 12,000 euros on the line, so quite a bit. We have in total, I think, 4 qualifiers. We have playoff phase and then the offline event itself. So today is qualifier number 1. And in our first round, we get the Hardos against No Time to Int. And this is a little bit of a different tournament format that they're running here at this point. So what they're pretty much doing is they're using something that has been done on some of the Chinese tournaments in the past. We have 2 groups as we're heading into day number 1 of the qualifier. So the 2 groups are pretty much playing a round robin more or less, and then the top teams out of these groups get seeded into the bracket on day number 2 and progress to the second phase of the qualifier. But the important part to note here is that on day number 1 we're going to have best of 2s. So all of these teams are just going to play 2 maps against each other, and depending on the score, whether you win, you draw, or you lose, you get some points or you just get murdered there. So that's pretty much the concept and how all of this works. Now, I got a little bit of a sad news for our Group 1 that we are going to focus on. Initially, it was supposed to be Hardos, No Time to Int, a couple of others, and also the Chili Donuts. But in this particular case, the Donuts apparently couldn't find a sub-player because for some reason, Rutsu was listed for both teams, the Hardos and the Donuts. Now, I have no idea how that happens, but it is kind of impressive. I mean, how does that not come up as a talking point at any moment? It's like, you know, we're playing this tournament in the weekend, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, you would think. And at that point, you would say, like, well, I already signed up with this other team, so, yeah. Either way, as it stands, we have our first map. It's Battlefield of Eternity here in qualifier number 1, and we'll see how this goes. But yeah, it's a little bit wild. So we're already off to a crazy start. But there's a lot of familiar names here that we have outside of just only the top teams. We're talking about Rage Quit and also some of the old favorites that we're going to have on day number 2. But as I mentioned, day number 1, we're going to focus on this. Okay, so we got Hansa as the first pick. Battlefield of Eternity obviously requires that you get a lot of damage out onto the Immortal directly. We got our bans on Lucio, Rega, and Blaze has also now moved once again into the ban position. So no chance to pick him up here. Obviously, the Hardos are heavily favored. Now, in these best of 2 scenarios, when you only play 2 maps, there's always the chance that you get a dirty comp in one of the maps, and then maybe, you know, you land a blow and you are able to take 1 map, and that's already a couple of points. So if No Time to Int has a chance to set something up along those lines, they might just be able to get themselves a map, but I think for the victory itself, that doesn't really exist in the best of 2. But yeah. In the best of 3, I would have said like, nah, probably not. Best of 2, maybe they can sneak a map in. But they need to land a bit of a lucky punch, that one's for sure. So we got already Li Ming and Stukov, which means immediately that he could technically try and play around some kind of sniper composition, being it with the Nubarak that got now picked away, or with also Varian. But yeah, we'll see if he's going to get drafted or banned. And on the side of the Hardos, we got Benny on the Nubarak, we got Copenhagen on Urel, so that in and of itself already is a very, very good combo to have at the front line there. A bit of a respect ban for Nick. Don't want to go up against his Tracer. But Nick has a lot of things that he can throw into the ring here, so we'll see how that's going to work out for them. There's already the Rexar ban, a little bit of a targeted one. And, well, that is a stun that Stukov can follow up on, but my question is still more so what they're going to use as their main tag. Now, you don't have to go into a variant here. You can still play with Muradin, for example, try and follow the same train of thought. We had a lot of players in the past couple of weeks that are very, very much focused on Muradin, Lauba being one example. But they go for Tyrael right away. So, Tyrael, Judgment into Stukov, Lurking Arm. And then, obviously, Li Ming follow-up. You need a bit more damage, though, for them. Have Hogger on the side lane. And Tyrael, if you play Tyrael well, then he can always have a huge impact in these games. So, yeah, that's definitely a thing. But, well, either way, we got Rutsu and Nick, the final 2 picks here. And there's the Thrall. And that could be a Trash Lightning Thrall. Plus Brightwing for Rutsu. So yeah, we could actually see Trash Lightning here. If you have a Thrall that doesn't have to be on the side lane, but is part of the 4-man, then you can start stacking. I think there's a good chance that Hazu takes over and Nick picks a Hanzo. That's what they did in the past already a few times. They swapped that around, and then Hazu actually played with Trash Lightning. The damage output towards the end is pretty significant. Yeah, and here comes Lunara. Final pick for her, and that is game 1, everybody. Battlefield of Eternity. So without further ado, let's jump into the first qualifier of the Masters Clash 2022. First map, let's get the show on the road, everybody. Aklios for No Time to End is playing Hogger. We got Vakman on Stukov, Mocek on Lunara, Play on Tyrael, and Mark is playing Li Ming. Mark and Nick can go and drink a beer together. Like, you know, if your first name is literally your player name, then yeah, you're someone to get a beer with. There's already Trash Lightning as expected. It's actually Nick that plays it here. So Nick on Thrall for the Hardos. We got a Rutsu on a Brightwing. Copenhagen on Urel. And Hazops is playing Hanzo with Bad Benny on a Nubarak. Okay, as expected more or less. Now there's a couple of ways obviously how the blue team can deal with that. First thing that they're doing is they're trying to not give Hanzo too much wiggle room. Thrall, Green Jesus. They're not giving him too much wiggle room here by moving towards the top side first, so they're changing the split a little bit. Traditionally, you have the solo lane at the top and then the 4-man down at the bottom. If you're going up against Thrall, what some teams tend to do is trying to go for a 3-2 split if the draft allows for it, and therefore give Thrall less chances to stack. I mean, it's all really about getting the stacks together. Now, the real power spike of Trash Lightning comes when you're hitting the full quest reward, because after that you can poke whatever you want, and the targeting automatically switches to heroes right after that and prioritizes them. And that allows you to just completely poke them to death. But even before that, with every single stack that you acquire, the damage ramps slowly up. So that is really impactful if you're able to get some solid stacks together in these big battles that we're going to have, not only here in the middle, but also on the lanes themselves, of course. So yeah, there's that. But either way, we now have on level 1 the reactive ballista spores. We also have the first 3 stacks together for our boy Thrall. A little bit of anchoring here by Bad Benny on the side. And already the dive for Wagman. But that one was a little bit short. Oh, Benny. Benny trying to go for the Stukov stun and couldn't get it. But now they're moving for Tyrael and nearly get the kill there. That's obviously one of the problems that Stukov has to an extent, that if he wants to use his lurking arm, he self-stuns. And if he doesn't really take care of his positioning properly, then he could real quickly become the target, especially if someone can dive him from the side. I assume there could also be Sundering from Nick on Thrall. It's obviously a bit of a philosophy question. How do you want to play the hero? How do you want to play the combo? Do you just try and flank in and try and separate the team, or is it a different approach that you're going for? Mocek nearly dying here. Bambi was about to be destroyed. But, there we go. Level 4, we got the Mana Tide. And the Unstable Anomaly for Brightwing. Already a little bit ahead in experience, doing a bit of a better job soaking the side lanes. But also we have, of course, the camps now taken, and each team got 1. And you can already tell that there's 2 down here. So Thrall can't really stack as quickly as he probably wants to, but he's already sitting at 5, so that's not too shabby. That's slowly getting up there. And we're going to have a lot of those stacks also coming into play once we have those fights in the middle of the map. So yeah, there's that. But again, what are we having on Immortal number 1? So here we go. We got already... Yeah, down at the bottom of the map, we got Copenhagen already sitting tight. He has to be careful here too. But still needs to deal with the camp. Top side, Lunara! Mocek! Oh, he died so quickly I couldn't even catch it. Someone just got blown up. So yeah, some nice meat for the... Where did Benny go? Alright. Benny is still drunk. Benny is still drunk. I'm not quite sure if he was trying to go for them on the left side and really make sure that they couldn't come in, or if he was aiming to dive past it and just simply misclicked. Fat fingered the button a little bit, but either way, they are with the first kill that they just locked in, also in a spot where they are easily taking the halftime show and claim that. So yeah, good for them. Tyrael has not made a level 4 choice yet, by the way, on his talents, so he is waiting this out a bit. Might wait to see what the rest picks. Benny in trouble! And Brightwing with a big save, but it might not be enough. He's out of mana. is able to get away for now though, and the Immortal is nearly taken. So Rutsu saving Bad Benny, but they are still under attack and they barely make it out. Oh boy, that could have been tricky. Copenhagen is also able to get away. Obviously the strategy of No Time to End was to aim for a quick kill here. Give up the Immortal, get a kill, and then go for an easy defense. That wasn't really working. And, well, there's that. So Copenhagen is already jumping in. Down at the bottom of the map, we got the level 7 now in. You have, at this point, obviously, follow through. That's actually an interesting choice, because normally when you're playing with Thrall, you always go for the quick burst and the self-sustain that you have. Follow through is always one of those weird ones, but I personally prefer to have Echo of Elements on level 1, since it gives you an additional auto attack that you can work through. But to be honest, I've talked about it in the past, I don't really like it. It can help you a bit to get the damage out. I think the other level 7, our standard, the Ancestral Wrath, is just better. Gives you a bit of an insta-nuke, gives you a bit of self-sustain. And also, if you can play mechanically sound enough to always weave those attacks in, then yes, it can help you on a single target. But it can be a little bit dicey. We've seen actually over the last, I want to say like 2-3 years, if every now and then, I want to say every half year or so, we've seen like a player dabble in it a little bit. But Nick really likes to just think outside of the box lately. He does it with Li Ming, he does it with a couple of other heroes. And some of his builds are a little bit too wild and seem like he's just bored and wants to try something new. But some others had success for them. So we'll see how much he can do here with Thrall. Generally speaking, follow through or not follow through, I honestly think that he's gonna have top damage for them. Hogger down, Urel with the solo kill at the top. And top damage pretty much because he's already at 13 stacks. So he's at 14 stacks now. We're only 6 minutes into the game, and he should already be way up there. So he's at 13,000, matching Urel's damage currently. But if he can continue the pace at which he's stacking right now, he is going to ramp it up very, very quickly. And I don't think we have to wait very long for that. So yeah, Nick is getting good value out of Trash Lightning already. And if he's able to even complete that, that would be great. Here comes the hit and the stun. Play is able to get out for now, but Hazu, he got close, but he wasn't able to get the kill. They are getting the camp though. So we have now a level lead. We have them with 2 kills to 0. Nice! Interrupted both hearths there. Nick obviously in this case not even aiming for a stack, just trying to make sure that they are able to deny the hearth. And that makes this entire lane real tricky. They're going for Lunara and Modchek is dead again. Second death of Bambi. Oh, arrow, bullseye straight to the face. Great engage also from Nick with Sundering, as I said earlier, for the engage is absolutely perfect here for him. And it seems that Bergman is also going to fall. They're all going to die, aren't they? Yep, everybody's dead with the exception of Hogger, who's still at the top. The rest of the team is down, 6 kills to 0. And they got absolutely bodied. Nicely done. Okay. So, 17 stacks by now also for Nick. Let's sit there for a second. One of the reasons why they could engage this well into the fort range was, of course, that they had level 10 abilities, whereas No Time to End didn't have that. They just now picked up the heroic abilities. But it's going to be still tricky. Obviously, Disintegrate, if you're up against an Anubarak, you always want to go for that so they can burn down the cocoon. Very rarely do we see Wave of Force. 98-99% of the cases will be Disintegrate just to go for the cooldown trade here. But there's another big Immortal coming our way, and again for the Hardos, so it's even talents, but the Hardos are obviously looking to burn down the next fort, this time up at the top, where Brightwing is already pushing the lane down a bit. And they're still trying to go for the hits here, so far that hasn't really worked out for them, but yeah, let's go. 20 stacks for Thrall. And there's the Sundering, followed up by the arrow. They try to go for the hit, but yep. It's party time. Look at the damage, by the way, for Thrall. As I said before, if he is able to stack up his level 1, he is going to have easy top damage. He's already at 25,000. Imagine him completing the quest. He is going to burn them down where they stand. He's not even level 16 yet, where he can go for even more synergy. They take the fort down, they go into the fight again, stun after stun. There's the Sanctification to save their ass, at least for now. Nick is a bit low, but could still turn it here. 28,000 damage for him. Lulnara dead again. Farazon is getting murdered here. Modchek down for the 3rd time. They really want to go for Bambi. And they drop her where she stands. 7 kills to 0. We got 23 stacks for Nick. He's slowly and steadily getting those stacks up even higher, one at a time. Boom, there's 24. He needs another 6 and then he is done. And we are not even at the 10-minute mark. Not even at 10 minutes. So, yeah, very, very solid. Frostwolf's Grace is now in. Valon's Chosen down to the bottom of the map. Copenhagen, he holds on to the lane. They just need to play it safe. They're 1.5 levels ahead now. They have 7 kills to 0. They got a talent lead for the time being and honestly for more than a level. Unless they're starting to int here, then it's going to be real difficult for the blue team to come back. The arrow is missing though, so that didn't really work out for them. Here comes the shockwave. They're fighting for the camp against the talent advantage. Hogger is dead. The camp is claimed. They get Stukov too, and now it's a chase. They go for Tyrael, and I don't think Play is going to make it. Already, Eldruins gets covered, and Tyrael gets turned into a pig. And that is the end of him. More bacon for the boys in red. And I don't know what Bambi was doing. Like, the two of them got out clean, so I'm not quite sure why they turned around. They should have moved away probably, but, well, now there's 11 kills to 0, so that's another one down. And, yeah, no time to end is getting farmed at this point. The Hardos, they're going for it. Now, keep in mind, this is obviously the first qualifier for the Masters Clash. This is also the first round of the day. We have a group stage here. Best of 2s are being played in a round-robin format on day number 1 between all the teams to determine the seeding for day number 2, and we have the bracket. But this is the Hardos just making a statement right from the get-go. Moving in, also for a potential kill against Tyrael again. Talent advantage is still there, and Tyrael, yep, that was a straight-to-the-face shot by Hanzo. Short distance, but it didn't matter. They got the damage in, that's all they needed. And there's the halftime show victory as they are getting closer to level 16 with no time to end, not even having access to their level 13 talents. And look at Thrall. Thrall with the poke damage thanks to his level 1 is already getting absolutely out of his mind. One more hit and he's done. Yeah, there it is. And now they can go for the lightning if two of them stack together. Nick actually had a chance there, didn't really go for it. Yeah, now Mark is coming in. Mark is down. Quest still not done. And again, he misses just barely out on it. Still sitting at the 29, but he's still... I mean, look at his damage. This is all that I gotta say here. His damage is already incredible. There's the quest completed, and from here on out, he can poke whatever, and the damage is going to travel easily. So now he's also changing up on the level 16 talent, which is actually interesting as well. No Thunderstorm or anything, instead the Tempest Fury. So it's going for more of a melee mode. We got the Epicenter incoming too. And with a 3-level lead, 13 kills to 0, and now an extra talent or the opponent, I do not think that there's a way to save this keep. It would honestly be pretty impressive if they can hold on to it. But let's see, maybe they got a shot there. Got the virulent reaction on level 13 for Stukov now. Could maybe lock someone down there. Also for the Ming important, of course, to have the Illusionist. But Nick is already starting to poke. And keep in mind, he can literally just attack the structure now. He doesn't have to aim for heroes anymore. There's the kill. Gets another one. Tyrael is already gone. They tried to go for the counter, but they couldn't. Another quick stun against Akleos on his Hogger. Benny is a bit low. Can they get a kill at least? No, it doesn't seem like it. 56,000 damage for Thrall. There's another drop. This time Stukov is the one that bites the dust. Yeah, Hogger barely makes it out. 15 kills to 0 if Benny doesn't pay attention, and he might actually be the only one that falls in this game. But the core is already getting dropped and is getting dropped quickly. Looks like a perfect game, everybody. No fort lost, nothing lost for the red team, and they are able to take down the core. 15 kills to 0, and that is a game. The Hardos with a 1-0 lead. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Yeah, poor time for int, or no time for int, sorry. Yeah, they got a little bit ruffle stomped on map number 1. Now, keep in mind, this is a best of 2. Best of 2 is a bit of a misleading term, as I already said earlier, but it's 2 maps that are being played here in the round-robin phase of the group. And now map number 2. So if you win the series, if you win the 2 maps, then you get, I think, 3 points. You get 1 point if it's a tie. and you get 0 points if you lose, and that's how the group seeding is being determined. But now that we're heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen, first pick, first ban goes to No Time to End, and the Hardos have obviously now the opportunity to lock in 3 points for themselves with the victory on the second map. Vala gets immediately banned. Not happy about that. I want Vala. Gimme a Vala. And also Mephisto gets quickly eliminated. A bit of scouting has definitely gone on between the teams here too, so yeah. But let's have a quick look of what we're actually gonna get, especially when we're talking about the damage dealers. When you are playing on Tomb of the Spider Queen, Nick's choice can of course be quite exciting. I mean, he's playing Carrigan on this map, we could see a Maiev, could see a Genji, could see a Tracer. So Nick could definitely have a little bit of fun here. And they're already shutting down any kind of shenanigans with Medivh. Not only for potential wombos, but yeah, also just making sure that they're not able to use him to save the day. Especially with Vala, that's obviously oftentimes a really nice pick because you can guarantee her safety a little bit even more easily. Last ban in the first phase. And, well, let's go. Varian. Okay, Varian gets banned. Goodbye, my friend. Jojo is in. Yeah, Jojo is the first pick immediately. Okay. They have a little bit of wave clear already guaranteed through that. I find it wild that the Hardos are actually hesitating this long. Now Blaze is by the way up too. Blaze got banned in map number 1, but on the second map he is still up. And I would be very shocked if we don't see him picked. There he is, Blaze and Lucio. Okay. That already guarantees you quick rotations between the lanes. Helps you with Blaze at the bot lane quite a lot. I guess technically for No Time to End we could now see a Leoric for the bot lane. To give one example, there's of course a couple of other choices you couldn't go for as well. Another one would be Rel too, but yeah. Hanzo, and there's the Leo pick. Okay, so the janitor's in the house. And we have Mochek on Hanzo. Yeah, Lunara, he got a bit spanked. When he played Lunara, that didn't go well. But again, as I said, they are obviously a bit outclassed here. They're going up against a team with quite a few former HGC players and also players that ever since HGC was killed by Blizzard, RIP, have been playing regularly, have a lot of experience in tournaments, so it would be quite a shocker if No Time to End would come in here and all of a sudden dominate the series. But as I said, if they get a little bit lucky and also play it clean, they have a chance to win a map. If they get a good draft here too, so that can always happen. In the best of 3 we had plenty of matches where the underdog was at least able to take one map, so if you are looking at a best of 2 all of a sudden in the group stage, that definitely has a little bit of different spice to it. And you also can't just slack up, so a team like Team Rap, for example, they can't just simply go, you know, and like start picking int heroes on map number 2, or they risk they're gonna lose the map. They might still win it, they have done it oftentimes in the past, even when they went for troll composition, but there is a little bit more of a threshold if you really want to pull that off if you only play 2 maps. Because from their logic it was obviously always so that they could on the 3rd map then play real and then yeah, just win it. Now we got Tyrael, we got Tracer, so already double Overwatch. Whew. Yeah, triple Overwatch, 2 Overwatch against 1 Overwatch. And we got Blaze plus Tyrael, so the double layer of defense as well. Okay. And, well, final double pick here. We still need... Oh, they went for Jaina. Oh boy. Not so sure about that. That Jaina pick looks a bit wild to me. Curious how that's working out for them. I mean, we have seen a couple of Jainas, but against what we are seeing for the red team? Really? Alright, Junkrat, triple Overwatch now. Whew. They are really firing in this one. Tomb of the Spider Queen, everybody. Map number 2. So let's go in, check it out, and have a quick look of which team wins the second map here before we move on to the next match of the group stage. But yeah, let's get things started. Tomb of the Spider Queen, the Hardos against No Time to End. No Time to End versus the Hardos, second map of this series. And on the left side, we got Akleos on Leoric, Play on Johanna, Mark on Jaina, Mocek on Hanzo, and Vatman on Brightwing. On the right side of the map, the Hardos in the lead. We got Hazo Ops himself on Junkrat, Copenhagen on Blaze, Nick on Tracer. I kind of predicted that already. Rutsu is playing Lucio, and we have a bad Benny on Tyrael. Okay, let's see if they can go for another one. Another perfect game. I doubt it a little bit. I don't really think we're going to see that again, but the first map was definitely impressive. But you can see that Mark is really getting attacked here with his Jaina. We talked about the pick a second ago, and the fight hasn't even started yet, and he's already getting chunked down a bit by the cavalry. So yeah, he has to be careful. The rotation of Leoric down to the bottom of the map was interrupted by Lucio, so that's also nice. Gets a bit of damage in against Leo, and gives more time for Blaze to already start things up with a wave, so that's kind of nice. Another attack, and you can really tell Nick wants to go for Jaina if he gets the chance. And Johanna at the same time, she's already sitting at the top. They're going to try and dominate the rotation here, which is not going to be easy. But yep, down here, the solo laner is already getting attacked. This is where Lucio really comes in handy, because you're so quick with your rotations between the lanes that it's much easier for them to apply some pressure on the bottom laner and make it very, very annoying for him. And Nick, as you can tell, he is already working on the camp. So he's been sneaking in on the right side, outside of the vision. But if the blue team is paying attention, they should at some point be wondering, hey, where exactly did Tracer go to? And there aren't really too many places where Tracer could be. She could either lay in one of these bushes and waiting, trying to get a kill in, but more likely that she's going for the camp. She can't go for the night camp, so yeah, they should know what's going on there, and I think Leo sniffed it out eventually. But there's a bit more damage against Aklios now, so that makes it much easier for Copenhagen to dominate that area. They will have to send someone down towards the bottom of the map, and well, as I say, Hanzo is now making the move down there. Hazu was trying with a mine to push Jojo a little bit out of position. That didn't really work. Yeah, if that stun happens, maybe he can even get a kill on Leo. With Brightwing coming in, probably not. But there was a chance for it. So, up to this point, we got a nice situation for the Hardos. They still have their hard camp that they can take, the Bruiser camp. And we have, with level 4 talents now coming in on both sides, also the Paralyzing Rage. A bit of damage against Mocek. He died first in game number 1. Is he going to die again? Oh, 30 HP. Cutting it close. Maybe a little bit too close for comfort. Play goes down. Nick nearly dies, but he survives it. And now Aklios is trying to get the gems at least back to safety. And he is able... No, he's not able to do it. They lose 1, they lose 2, they lose 3. And so many gems are lost, but Wagman picks up 29 of them. Ah, boy. They still lost 3 heroes in that engage, so they were able to save the gems, but it came at a price, and that price might be a little bit too much. So now Brightwing, again with the magic spit here as a level 4 talent. We have the turn-in attempt from the Hardos. They won't be able to turn everything in and get a Web Weaver wave yet, but at least they have the 31 gems already secured, so that's kind of nice. A bit of poke damage is coming out here, but they're all getting away. So can tap the fountain, can hearth back. Hazel still has full control over the top lane. Jaina's obviously attempting to also complete her baseline quest so that she has a bit more safety with the ice block that she's gonna get. But Mark is in trouble, and Mark is dead. Literally blown away by a grenade over here. 4 kills to 0. Bam, there's level 7. And that's the extra talent for them right now. Now Copenhagen, he is busying himself on the camp. They are taking more and more control of all of this. Nick now down at the bottom of the map. Okay, coming back in. We already have in the middle of the map Rutsu just zipping around with Lucio, annoying them as much as he can. And more damage on Leo, so Nick is really starting to get them lower and lower and lower, and nearly gets a kill here against Leo as well. So they're already getting chased. They definitely feel the pressure now. With Bad Benny even diving after Hanzo again at the top. Not going for the kill here, but they're getting closer to whittle them down in HP to open up more opportunities in every single one of these little skirmishes, especially, of course, for Tracer. And Nick is already running around here, trying to see if he can maybe dive in on someone. So, yeah. Moves in here, checks what's happening, immediately moves back, is like, alright, I'm not gonna get that kill. But yeah, Red Web Weavers, they're still coming down first. The Hardos have been able to deliver the 50 gems that they need here. And that will push them back. And look how low Jojo and Johanna are. Both of them real low here, and that makes it very difficult for them now to defend. And on the rotation towards the top, Jaina gets caught too and eats some damage. So this is making it real tricky to defend against the Web Weavers. Hanzo is just trying to stay alive here, and it's not easy for him either. So the Web Weavers are still doing work, and the bot lane fort is likely going to fall. Look, he double checks also if maybe Tracer's coming in from the side. Was a bit afraid. Could have checked on the minimap now too. Tracer was absolutely visible, but that just shows you how afraid they currently are that in these situations someone is diving them, and that's because the red team has been diving the entire time. So if the communication isn't there, you're not sure if someone is missing or not, then you have to also cover all of those exits. Now we got level 10, and that is not only 6 kills, they are in the lead, but this is also just a 2-level advantage right now. And at this point the Hardos are coming full in with force. I want to, by the way, highlight this game real quickly. So the guys that you see on the blue team side, like, these are not bronze players or anything. A lot of them are Grandmaster. The others are at least Master here. And they've been playing in tournaments for a while now. But they go up against the Hardos, and this is really what experience is worth. And if you're going into like semi-finals and finals, there's always people that write in the YouTube comments or on Twitch chat and talk about, you know, oh my god, how can they be this bad? How do they make a stupid mistake like this? And I don't understand. And this is what a team of ex-professionals with a lot of experience looks like, even against, so to say, high-level players on the blue team side. So just to give you guys a bit of an idea of what all of that experience is really worth. Like, thanks to them grabbing level 10 this early, just dominating the rotations on the lanes and the experience, they get into a position where they can utilize their Storm talents so much earlier, and they use this mercilessly to just push down these structures, get one turn in after another. So that's really the gap that we're talking about here. So when you then see the Hardos lose against another team and people come in like, oh my god, this is so bad, then yeah, might not quite understand how big the margin of error is sometimes, or how small it is when two top teams go up against each other. So this is really what you can do if you play the game for this long and know how to exploit weaknesses on the other side with ease. So either way, at this point we got 7 kills to 0. We have the first Web Weaver wave is through, 1 fort is down, the second and third one are both low. But there might be a kill. Can he get the bunker? Yes, bunker is out. That saves the day for now. But it was a close call. That could have potentially been a kill here. Water Elemental is in play. We got on top of that also Hanzo's arrow and of course also the Blessed Shield. But here comes the attack again. They go for Mark. And Jaina is dead. Mark is down, and it seems like, yes, Leo dies too. They're trying to recover some of the gems, but this is nearly a foregone conclusion. Look at Brightwing. Vagman, he's doing some work. And Jojo also. Damn, they actually recovered all of them. Impressive. I honestly thought that if they were trying to go for them, they would die, but nope, they made it work. So now 9 kills to 0. And they're still sitting in a situation where they at least have the gems and therefore a ticket back into the game. But of course, time is slowly running out as the Hardos are getting more and more experience. They widen the gap to get another talent. And they're also heavily ahead now in the numbers. Mark is just getting a bit farmed. The Jaina pick was a bit wild to me. I already highlighted it in the draft. I don't really think that against this composition there was anything else that could be expected. They really, really need to guard her completely if they want her to have any chance, especially when she doesn't have her ice block yet. And there's another kill. So Jaina is dead for the 5th time now. That was just asking for trouble. But we have 28,000 damage for Tracer by now, 21,000 for Junkrat. Web Weavers are in and all the forts are destroyed. So we're only talking about keeps right now. This is the only thing that is still standing on the blue team side. And it seems like the Hardos want to make this a perfect series and not only a perfect map. So they come in again, full swinging, and they start taking down the wall at the bot lane in the middle of the map too. This one is most likely going to be defended, but at least the bottom keep is going to take some damage. And not gonna lie, they got a shot to take this whole thing down, especially if they get some kills here, and that's the first one. Leoric is dead, and now everybody is down at the bot lane, and this keep is gone. So we're now talking about a keep at 9 minutes and 30 seconds at the bottom of the map. and they are just widening this gap. We are talking about a 3-level difference now, and a potential level 16 talent within the next minute. So they're going for core even, just realizing that they got an opportunity here, and the core is at least going to take some damage. I'm not sure if they can finish it, but it's likely that they can. They're coming in with everything they have. Nick is a bit low. The bunker is out. Do they still have Sanctification? They have it in 2 seconds and could drop it. Everybody's low. There's the Tracer and the Blaze kill. So at least in this game, no time to in, gets a few kills. It's not a perfect game. Tyrael, by the way, is just going to explode on the core. Puts it down to 49% now. And that is obviously brutal. The lead is still there. I mean, Tyrael was literally saying, like, yeah, whatever, I'm just going to take a couple of points off the core. It's fine, guys. Use the Sanctification to give himself a bit more time for the auto attacks. Now it's level 13 to level 13. But, yeah, it's rough. Didn't lose a whole lot of gems because they just turned in. But now it's finally an opportunity for No Time to get their own web weavers. And that was a long time coming. They've really worked hard to make sure that they do not lose those gems, that they always kept them. So there's a turn-in. So congratulations. Not only did they get kills, but they also got a turn-in. So nice. As at least that, you know? Silver linings. One step at a time. There's still level 16 talents that we have for the Hardos, as I said. So this is a big lead. And now they need to see what they can do with the push, the blue team. But of course they gotta be careful too, because level 16 is always a huge power spike. And there's a big shot now for the Hardos to try and take the fight here and then just move to the left side of the map and end what they started. At least one of the forts here in the middle is gonna fall, so one fort is down. There's still a bit of fighting left. And another nice connect from Nick, who's really ramping up the damage on his Tracer. And they're chasing them. They're chasing them hard with the Sanctification now being popped as well. Blackman is low. Brightwing dies. The Hanzo arrow comes out, but they are just continuing the push with Leo now dying. That's 2 dead. And Hanzo likely will fall too. Yeah, there comes Lucio. Takes down 1. Nearly goes for the 2nd kill. But Jaina is alive. Or so I thought. And then Rutsu said, wait a second, you're chasing me? I don't think you know how this works. Like, I'm the apex predator in this equation. I'm chasing you, not the other way around. I just baited you, baby. So there it is. The end of map number 2. A 2-0 victory for the Hardos, everybody. As they drop the shield, drop the bunker, and now burn the core to a crisp. Yeah, there's no hope anymore for No Time to end. They lose the first series in the group stage. The Hardos, they take the 2-0 victory and claim 3 points. GG.